Why are people laughing at Ronda Rousey's failure? I'm not gonna lie, this one kind of hurt me a little bit. This one kind of hurt me because Ronda Rousey, seeing her take that L in UFC and then go to WWE, and she was killing it for a while, then also take a L in WWE, and the niggas are just shitting in her face. It's just like, golly, it's like she can't get a freaking win here, man.
She might have 17 million followers, but with only a couple thousand likes per post, it's safe to say Ronda Rousey has only a few active fans. Through hypocrisy, a massive ego, and undeniable delusion, Ronda Rousey has become one of the most unlikable athletes ever, recently wrecking her final career opportunity and sparking a mass exodus of social media followers. So why are people so happy?
I ain't gonna cap. When niggas start following you on, when niggas start unfollowing you on social media, you know they don't fuck with you. That means they freaking mean it nowadays. If somebody unfollows you on social media nowadays, they do not fuck with you anymore. That's just it, bro. That's just it. Chair with the 10 gift. Appreciate you, Sleepy. Thank you for the motherfucking membership, boss.
To see her fail. Well, arrogance, that's why.
What makes me so confident that I can win is I'm the greatest fighter in the world.
Now, in the beginning, Ronda's arrogant statements were at least partially justified.
Yeah, we
She'd
loved
spent
it.
4
She was
years
Conor
winning every
McGregor
fight
right
available, although there was one massive issue. 9 out of her 12 fights were won using the exact same move, submission via armbar. Fans would therefore label Ronda a one-trick pony, because while being extremely skilled at armbars, she was seriously lacking in other MMA areas. As far back as 2012, people wrote, "Does anyone else think Ronda Rousey is greatly overrated? Her striking game is almost non-existent. Is she a good judoka? Absolutely. Is she a good mixed martial artist? Not at all."
And Ronda had a very limited approach.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I didn't even really watch UFC until Ronda Rousey hit the scene. I was watching all her freaking highlights, bro. I was like, yo, she's going crazy on these niggas. I know you think it'd be because Conor McGregor. That's when most niggas really got into it, I feel like. But for me, it was Ronda Rousey. I don't know what it was. There was I have this love for main characters that are women, bro. I love to see them win, and I was like, yo, she's going crazy. And you think Drake is the GOAT? Drake is the GOAT.
She didn't kick, and she wasn't necessarily the most skillful boxer. She didn't really have a tremendous amount of experience.
Her lack of striking ability has since been featured in compilations such as this one, while people were even commenting at her peak, "Anytime I need inspiration, I watch her hit a heavy bag or shadow box. If she can make it to the UFC with that sloppy garbage, then anything is possible." Despite her obvious weak spots, Ronda maintained her arrogance.
I know the level my striking is at, and that's one of the advantages that I have is they don't really know.
Which even extended to her personal life.
I really wouldn't want to waste any time on a guy that is easily intimidated by me. I mean, there's more intimidating things in life than me, so.
Yeah, I mean, you see that fucking arm right there, nigga? I'm like, before she even started talking, the first thing I looked at was that damn bicep to tricep ratio, and that shit, boy, she puts that motherfucker around your neck, nigga, you're knotted. You're knotted, man. I can...
So, if that stopped you already, then you're just saving my time.
Although there was no better example of arrogance than her 12th and final UFC win. Ronda won the fight with a clumsy knockout punch, but still walked away with an egotistical look on her face, as if she couldn't be beaten by anyone. Ronda refused to show even the smallest bit of humility, and as explained by one of the comments, this was probably the worst thing that could have happened to Rousey. This fight was her downfall as it made her far too confident in her bad striking, and she never felt the need to improve anything, which was especially bad given her next opponent was Holly Holm, a 19-time boxing world champion. In the lead up to their fight, Holly was humble and extremely kind.
As far as Ronda's performances, not just some of them have been impressive, all of them have been impressive, so I mean nobody can argue with that.
While Ronda was extremely rude, maintaining that nobody could ever beat her.
Beating Holly Holmes is definitely in my hands, and I'm gonna do it.
Ronda's arrogance was even worse in other interviews.
I'm great at this. I'm the best at this. I'm more prepared than she is for this, and I'm gonna win on Sunday. And everyone's gonna see.
Still refusing to show a single shroud.
Is that bad though? Like, that's what we want to see. Like, I guess when you look at it after the match, it's easy after everything happens to be like, oh, she was so arrogant through it. But like, those are the fighters we all love, nigga. That's why we liked Conor McGregor so much, nigga. We were like, we were like, bro, like we love to see you talk shit and then back it up, right? I love to see John Jones talk shit and then back it up. I want to hear you loud talking hella shit. But I understand to the point where it gets to a level of like arrogance to where you're like, Nick, you can't show anybody props. Like you can't admit any fault in your game. You can't admit that you can improve in any way. Then it can kind of be like, you know?
Humility.
I'm better than every other girl in every area of MMA. MMA striking is different, and I think I'm the best at it.
When the day of their fight
Not to this point. To this point. She's just a jerk at this point. That's reasonable. That's reasonable.
finally came, Holly offered to touch gloves, yet Ronda Rousey refused.
Oh,
and
wow.
while Ronda had just 4 weeks prior stated,
She can try and kick me in the head, but it's not gonna go like that. Not the way that she wants.
this is exactly how the fight ended. Holly knocked Ronda out with a kick to the head, with Ronda's face from before and after the fight confirming she'd been completely humbled. Well, just kidding. Ronda refused to accept that Holly was simply better.
I think that it's probably just hard for her to really maybe admit that I was just the better fighter.
And instead began to make braggy excuses for why she lost the match.
It was my 3rd title fight in 9 months, and I don't think anyone's ever even attempted that before. And that's a lot. I think the one thing that was different
We
is
don't
I
want to
felt
hear your
tired.
Ronda
fucking
then tried-
excuses. We don't want to hear your fucking excuses after an L, nigga. We want to hear you say you're gonna come back being better. Oh my God! Somebody fucking fist her in the face. We don't want to hear that shit. I was tired. Because if you would have won, that's the thing. If you would have won, you would have never said shit. She's a yapper. She really is, bro. She really is. Because if she would have won, do you think she would have said, I was a little bit tired? I was a little bit tired, but I still won. She would have never said it, bro. That shit would have never came out of her gosh darn mouth. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
To make the audience feel bad for her.
What am I anymore if I'm not this? And I was literally sitting there and I'm nothing. I'm like, what do I do anymore? No one gives a shit about me anymore without this.
Although the comment section wasn't having any of it. You know, Ronda's ego was so out of control and she thought herself unbeatable. She had no respect for anyone and trashed all of her opponents. She deserved to get knocked out and brought down to earth. In an article titled "Rooting for Ronda Rousey is Tough and It Has Nothing to Do with Her Loss," ESPN highlighted that Ronda had publicly smeared Floyd Mayweather for his history of domestic violence, yet she was dating another MMA fighter who had been accused of domestic violence himself. To make matters worse, the article brought up Ronda's 2015 book, in which she talked extensively about assaulting her ex-boyfriend. She punched him in the face with a straight right, then a left hook. When he still wouldn't move, she slapped him again, then grabbed him by the neck of his hoodie, kneed him in the face, and tossed him aside on the kitchen floor. The incident
My goodness gracious, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. If I heard any, like, if this was written by J-Lo or something like that, I'd be like, it ain't that deep. But imagining Ronda Rousey swole ass grabbing you by the neck of your fucking hoodie and kicking you in the face is nuts. Nuts, nigga. Bro got hit with the MK combo. That, you said it better than anybody in chat, nigga. You said it better than me, bro. Bro, she's so bad that she could lose a middle school fight. Oh, that's just that's just mean.
Incident ended, she said, at her car when he tried to prevent her from driving away, and she pulled him by the neck of the hoodie again, dragged him out onto the sidewalk, and left him writhing there. This might explain why Ronda also began to claim that she could beat the male heavyweight UFC champion, stating, "You cannot tell me that it's physically impossible. It is possible that in any given moment that I could beat him. I simply believe in my possibilities." UFC fighter Ian McCall politely responded, "She's dangerous, she's good. I get it, but it's just silly." Meanwhile, on Reddit, people dunked on Ronda mercilessly. "In any given moment, under the right circumstances, I think it is possible. Sure, but armbarring a man while he is sleeping is just a dick move.
He was asleep?
But hey, it's Ronda." A different user then shared this video showing that Ronda couldn't even keep up during a sparring session, and therefore added the comment, "With this video, anyone with the deduction skills of an 8-year-old would have to say a 250-pound cane would have as much trouble with Rousey as maybe a really angry toy poodle." Ironically, Ronda couldn't even win against those in her own division, which only became more obvious in her next fight after Holly Holm. 1 year after getting owned by Holly, Ronda tried to make her comeback by fighting an even harder opponent.
Yeah, this one was. This one was the point where niggas was like, yeah, I think it's time to hang it up. Like, after this one, Chad, it was like, you have to just hang it up. I think your time is up here. I think your time is down.
Amanda Nunes, who knocked Ronda out after only 48 seconds.
Yeah, bro.
Ronda's face from before and after the fight was again extremely poetic, with the top comment stating Holly took her to school and Amanda straight up expelled her. Such an embarrassing loss for one of the most arrogant, ungracious fighters in MMA. Love to see it. In the lead up to the fight, the media had said about Ronda,
if she doesn't win impressively, I think this is her last fight. If she loses, I don't think we ever see her again.
which turned out to be true, although Ronda still refused to admit that she wasn't the better fighter.
Do you think about the last couple fights? Do you think about the last fight against Amanda or Holly?
I think I'd just rather not talk about that right now.
Poor Ronda, she still can't get over those 2 losses in the UFC. You can clearly tell every time someone asks her questions about her return to MMA. She'd post a photo to her Instagram reading, and so rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life, which turned out to be accurate, as she'd soon find another chance at
WWE,
repairing
baby.
her public image. In January 2018, Ronda Rousey signed a full-time WWE contract.
But you're doing this full time now, right? This is your job? Full time. They got me for a multi-year deal.
And after
I'm
her
not gonna lie, when this first happened, I was like, this is so pussy. I was kind of pissed. I was like, this is so pussy. I was like, my nigga, you're going from fucking UFC. Like, I'm not saying, of course the stunts in WWE are real, but it's like, you can't take it the same, bro. Like, you just don't take it the same. But it's like, nigga, like, I was like, I don't want to see that shit. I didn't. I wanted to see you hook niggas and armbar niggas in UFC. I don't give a fuck about what's happening in WWE, bro. I don't.
her debut match, she was surprisingly loved by the audience. The Washington Post wrote, the match exceeded expectations, with fans firmly behind Rousey, even breaking out into yes chants at points, while comments on the debut video read, glad to see her smiling again. Reminds me of when she first started her MMA career. She was so genuine here, hard to see why anyone could hate her. I'm actually excited to see her. I just hope Vince doesn't screw this up, although as highlighted by a later comment reading, it's impressive how she managed to turn both the MMA and wrestling fan bases against her. Her WWE likability wouldn't last long, because the show chose to pin Ronda against an even more beloved wrestler, Becky Lynch, and as a result Ronda was painted as the villain and booed by fans during every single match. As a part of their storyline, Becky was arrested, posting the mugshots to her Twitter where Ronda completely lost it. That's what I'm trying to do, dumbass. You hobbling around trying to be a ginger crutch ninja and taking fake prison photos in the hallway isn't helping. Becky responded with, keep that F word out of your mouth and concentrate on getting better at this business instead of trying to remain above it. Looking forward to seeing you real soon. Ronda then responded again stating, F word? You mean fake? Fake like your nonsensical BS armbar that doesn't even work and just looks like you're holding the dick you wish you had.
Relax. It's WWE. You can't use fake in WWE, bro. That's naughty. That is a naughty word to use in the WWE fucking hemisphere, my nigga. That's worse than a slur. That's a WWE fucking slur right there. To say fake, to be a part of the business and say this shit is fake, to go on Twitter as a WWE representative and say this shit is fake? Very naughty. Very fucking naughty.
Before doubling down by writing, I don't care what the script says. I'm beating the living shit out of you the next time I see you. But while the drama seemed to have been set up by the show, Ronda continued to bash the WWE on her YouTube channel.
It's not an act. I'm not going out there and doing their fucking act anymore. I meant that I'm going to disrespect the sport that they all love so much. It's scripted. It's made up.
You know, we all know that.
Less than a month later, WWE took Ronda off the show, yet she only continued to bash them, writing, anyone who is outraged by me calling pro wrestling fake fights for fun has never been in a real fight. While you all are tiptoeing around bruising some pro wrestlers' huge soft egos, no one is thinking about all the real fighters you're insulting when pretending pro wrestling is somehow on the same level of realism. Ronda then appeared on Steve-O's podcast again calling wrestling fake.
Having like fake fights for fun. I love choreography. I love acting. I love theater.
Before bravely bashing her fans.
Spending my time on energy on a bunch of
fucking ungrateful fans that don't even appreciate me.
And claiming she'd never return to WWE again.
I'll never to be full-time again over 200 days a year like that ever again.
The irony was that 3 years later, Ronda did.
Does she think that she came to some, like, moment of enlightenment? Is that what she thinks? Did she think that was like a moment of enlightenment for everybody? Like, no one knew it was fake? like, oh, we all thought it was real, Ronda? We all thought the shit was real? Like, we know it's fake, but it's entertaining. Bro. I don't really watch it, but people know it's fake. It's still entertaining. It's like watching a horror movie. You know this shit is fake! Doesn't mean the movie wasn't fucking good. It's like, what?
Exactly that, albeit with the attitude that she was too good to even be there. Can't speak for anyone else, but for me, it really shone through that she wasn't enjoying herself, especially with the complaints about fan reactions.
Man, I didn't know the whole situation until now. Right now, I'm looking at you looking like a punk, bro. You gotta be able to play the villain well. The Rock does it well. If you're gonna play the villain, bro, you gotta just do it. I think she thinks too much about what the fans think, and like, how do I put it? She takes the fans' reactions too personal. Right? That's what I feel like. Like, she takes the boos too personal. She takes the cheering too personal, and not just realize, like, they're in the moment. Like, they're just reacting in the moment, and they're so caught up in the environment that that's what they're thinking about. It's like being in stream. If I say something like on Skibbity, and niggas are like, oh my God, like, L, get the fuck out of here. I'm leaving. I'm reporting the stream. It's like, you're in the moment. Like, if I was to take it personally and be like, fuck all of you guys. You guys are the worst fucking people in here. Like, you know?
She never looked like she wanted to be there and acted like pro wrestling was beneath her. Whether true or not, it's how it came off. Hashtag Fire Ronda Rousey therefore began to trend on Twitter, which became a reality only 4 months later, as she'd be booted from wrestling again. With almost zero career prospects, Ronda Rousey agreed to an extensive Raid Shadow Legends deal and has spent the last year writing another book, the release of which has made her a total laughingstock. Over the last month, she's promoted the book on various podcasts, leading to a Reddit post showing that 9 years later, Ronda Rousey is still making excuses for losing to Holly Holm.
My mouth guard was bad. I literally came into that fight concussed from slipping down some stairs already after all of these years of concussions, and then I had absolutely terrible weight cut, which, you know, that means you have less fluid in your brain to protect it.
Ronda then made even more excuses on Steve-O's podcast.
I have no ACL. I tore my ACL falling down that stairs 2 weeks before that fight, the home fight.
Leading to some pretty funny comments such as, tore my ACL, had a concussion, bad weight cut, I had bubble guts, my car wouldn't start, my dog ate my homework, and I've had scoliosis since I was 3. So yeah, didn't really lose, did I? Ironically, Ronda also stated this:
I'm the greatest fighter that has ever lived, because I've never been faster, never been stronger, never had a better grasp of the game. I've never been so much better than everybody else.
Yet when Steve-O kindly offered props to Logan Paul, Ronda Rousey refused to accept it.
How about Logan Paul? Like him or dislike him, that dude is a performer.
Yeah. He's great on the mic. He does a great job on the mic. But I mean, I wish that I was allowed the time to rehearse that he gets, because it's not evenly spread. It's.
I really liked her before this video, and now after watching this video, I'm like, you hearing that, Ducky? Excuses, excuses, excuses. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Excuses, excuses, excuses. Everything is, the world is against me. I'm playing victim. It's so fucking hard. Oh my God, if there's any person, if there's any type of people like I can't stand being around, it's these niggas. It's like, oh my God, it's so fucking hard. The world is against me. I don't know what to do. Shut the fuck up. My God, shut up. You had enough. You've been doing this shit for 11 minutes and 52 seconds. You have to stop now. You lost. You were ass. You lost twice. You got knocked down 48 seconds. Just like you were armbar niggas and thought you were the best. You're clearly not, because they nodded you twice in a row. You're done. You went to WWE. You thought you were going to be great. You knew it was going to be performing. You sucked at performing. You didn't like it. And so now you're shitting on them for doing what they always do? I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed because, like, I really fucked with you, bro. I did. Like, you were the reason I ever watched UFC. You're not gonna care what I'm saying, obviously, but it's like, Still disappointed.
It's frustrating that like everybody doesn't get that treatment.
Ronda is jealous that Logan is already a better wrestler than she ever was.
I think she might be unhappy with how her run in the WWE went, but I don't know anything really about that.
It seems Ronda Rousey has burned every bridge she could possibly burn, which when combined with her complete lack of fans, makes it highly likely her career is done and dusted.
It was one of them ones too, bro. That's why I should say. She was one of them ones, bro. One of them runs. She really was.